And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vobes Show. I'm Richard Vobes.
I'm not Richard Vobes.
No, who are you?
I'm Julia.
Let's just turn your microphone up. There we go. Julia is live in the studio, ladies and gentlemen, on the 5th of March 2021. Nice to see you here.
To see you,
yes,
nice.
I can actually touch you. It isn't magic of the digital internet. Yes, age before beauty. It's so nice to have a bit of normality, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hope we're going to have more of that. Although, looking at Boris Johnson and what he was saying in the briefing earlier today, I'm not sure that we're getting it anytime soon. However, we can make our own joviality. Now, no pushing, no shoving, no eating popcorn on the front there, no frizzy hairs, and please, please take off your bicycle helmets because you're obscuring the view. How has your bank holiday Monday been, lovely Julia?
Not too shabby, thank you.
Why not?
Took Joseph to the park and, yeah, it was a nice day.
It was a nice day. You popped round here and we were discussing the show, writing long, copious scripts.
You mean Jojo was writing?
Yeah, Jojo was writing the scripts. Unfortunately, we can't actually interpret any of this.
No.
Because it's mainly squiggles. Actually, is he doing much drawing now?
Well, funny you say that. I meant to bring a couple of paintings along with me, which are Joseph's first paintings that he did at the first stay and play he's ever had. Because I was about to start taking him to stay and plays when he was 7 months old, when COVID hit and we all ended up in lockdowns.
So is stay and play what I would call nursery school?
Nursery school's where you would leave the child, but stay and play is where you come along, you bring your child, and you stay with your child, and you play with your child.
Right. Oh, I see.
But
so
they
you
also
stay
interact
and
with
play.
other children and the staff.
Oh, what's happened to my hands?
I don't know. Are we Easter bunnies?
Yes. You stay and play. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
The child doesn't. I mean, the
child does stay
obviously
and play
the
too.
child stays and plays,
Yes.
but I mean the adult stays with the child and plays.
Yes.
Yes, that's where it gets its name from. As
Yes.
opposed to when they're a bit older, you leave the child there and go, "Oh my God, freedom!"
That would be the nursery situation.
That's the nursery school. Well, I'm glad
Nursery
we got that
school
sorted.
thing.
It's been a long time.
Yes, and I can talk over you and not have to worry that they're not actually hearing me because of the digital.
Yes, the
thing.
digital delay. In fact, what I would do is just make sure they can. Can they still hear you?
I hope you can hear me.
Oh yes, probably deafen them senseless. So now, Julia, you can look at the screen, which is over there, instead of having
Hello,
to look.
screen.
Instead of normally looking sort of off somewhere.
Well, I'd actually be looking that way, but because you're the
Complicated way.
the thing that you use, the Ninja, what is it?
Yeah, the It's I don't know why it's called Ninja, but it's the
The
two-screen
video
digital
call thing that I usually am
the
streamed in on.
Zoom substitute.
Yeah, that usually flips my screen. So
Yes.
on my screen, I'd see me like mirrored, and then in the box where normally you'd see you, and then obviously I'm seeing what the show screen is. So, and I'd be looking the other way. So it's quite weird seeing my head move.
So yeah, we're back to
Normal.
normal, and So
We'll never be
how
normal.
long? I was trying to work out when was the last time we did a show in the studio.
I can't remember.
No, I can't remember. I can't work it out. I mean, I could go back through the archive and have a look, but couldn't be bothered. So that's that.
Bonnie says she's missing the horse photos. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I have a little unicorn, though, that my mum gave me for Easter.
Oh,
Is that
isn't
okay?
Nice? Little
Put it on my-
unicorn.
And keep that in.
And we do actually have, you may remember back in the old days, we have unicorn cam.
Oh, unicorn cam. Ta-da!
It's funny colours, the unicorn cam. We've never quite got the colour system right, but there it is.
Yeah.
So it all goes in the
Maybe
show.
just hang it there.
As an earring.
And it's just on the edge of your... hang on.
There we go.
Beautiful.
You wouldn't know it was there, would you? It's just...
I wouldn't.
I would want...
Oh.
Oh, yeah, I can't see it. 'Cause, as you know, there's no sight in that eye. So it's great.
Just because I can.
And just because you can, there's now
I've
bubbles.
missed that. I've missed my bubble machine.
Yes, my equipment hasn't missed the bubbles. Mrs. Mop, who may come in and have to clean everything, because obviously, you know, a man of my distinction has a very expensive cleaner coming in.
I think Eric
Yeah.
might have to get the...
I think Eric
his
will
little
have to
mop
do
out.
it. Won't you, Eric?
He's,
He's slightly withdrawn now because he's overawed that the lovely Julia is actually here. He is incredibly shy.
How you doing, Eric?
You see?
Yeah.
It's not so easy for Eric to talk these days. Is it, Eric?
That's right, sir.
I don't know why he's giggling.
Sean James Cameron and Sean Ford both think that I last joined you in the studio on Christmas Day.
Ah, maybe it was.
Oh, no, wait. Sean James says actually the 4th of January.
Ah, the 4th of January? Yes,
that
I
sounds
think
about
that
right,
just before the lockdown happened. Yeah. Oh, right. So not as I thinking it was like June last year. June.
No, but you know what? I saw my mum and dad yesterday.
And how are they?
It's the first time I've seen them since Christmas Day.
Yeah.
They're good. They're all right. They've had the first jabs, so still waiting their second ones.
Oh, that's nice. I hadn't had a tetanus for a long, long time, and long may it happen.
I had my MMR booster the other day.
Oh, right.
And I did query it. I was like, how come I need an MMR? I'm sure I had that.
What is it?
No, you're in the age...
Mums, mothers and ridiculous people.
Mumps, measles and rubella.
Oh, rubella. Yes, she's a funny person, rubella. I never got on with her.
But apparently I'm of the age where we missed out on the MMR. I just had the MR.
Oh, I see.
Oh, something like that.
Yeah.
But apparently I did have it when we went to Saudi. It doesn't matter. I've had it again.
She's had it. That's all that counts. She's had it, and it's not catching, which is lucky. Julia's a wild child tonight, says Bonnie. Well, she's got freedom, you see. You don't have that immediate potential that any minute now there's a kid just off
Comes
camera.
splatting against my...
Yeah, it's going... I
big
need
glass
you,
door.
Mummy, I need you. Can I take this off now, please?
Yeah, go on then.
Oh,
Well done. Oh.
that was almost as bad as one of these. Oh.
No, I'll never be as bad as that.
All right, fair dues. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have in the show tonight lots of things going on here. We have 6 videos for you. One from Andrew Norris, one from Colonel Cragratty, Bernie, of course. Edward Moulding has got an interesting one which I want to quiz him about. Sean Ford has got another discovery walk, and Sean James Cameron is continuing with the loop. I'm not saying he's gone loopy, but he is on the loop, as it were. We also have some photographs that have been sent in. I believe that, ladies and gentlemen, I have to actually have a look. Ron Langley has sent us some pictures in. Mark Donny McLeod and Bonnie has also sent us some hot cross buns that she was making. Let's have a look at those from last week. Now, you may remember she was cooking them, I think, during the show, if I've got that right. Is that right, Bonnie? Yes, that's right. That's Eric? Don't do impressions of Bonnie. And so here we... Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Here is the first lot. This is a tray of hot cross buns before I think they went in the oven.
Yeah, they look good already though.
Yeah, they look nice. And then, ba-dam! There they are after the oven. A very clean looking kitchen, I have to say. Look at that worktop and the walls.
Very
Absolutely
nice.
clean. Not a speck of dirt to be seen. And then there, my goodness, don't they look tasty?
Mm-hmm.
And, ladies and gentlemen, you will be absolutely amazed to know that, I'll just put that up, that Bonnie sent in a tray of them for us to eat. And they're just down here.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, no, she forgot to do that, actually.
Not that she should feel guilty for not
No,
having done that.
Don't feel guilty, Bonnie, that we are now sitting here starving without a thing to eat. Except that, in Friday's show, there was a bit of going on because I didn't have any Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And do you know what? A mysterious angel appeared at my door and went, "Could you turn the noise down, please?" Well, that's because I was singing in the bath, you know. And I looked inside my box, as you do.
As you do.
And as if by magic, a genie appeared.
Ta-da!
With these. I think this was Saturday morning. I can't remember. It was either Saturday morning or Friday. Yeah, it must have been Saturday morning. It's got a note on it. Could you read the note, lovely Julia?
To Richard and Julia, happy Easter. Thanks for all you do. Love from Elaine. Whitelock. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elaine. And I have been coveting this and looking after it all weekend.
Yeah.
And
that's quite some restraint, wasn't
yeah,
it?
I've had a lot of restraint. Needed it, you know.
For someone who didn't have any.
A straitjacket would have been better, but...
Oh, those hot cross buns, though. They
Oh,
do
yeah,
look
sorry,
good,
they're
don't
still
they?
on.
Please remove them.
Yes, they're still, look, they're
Oh,
still there.
Bonnie says, I accidentally made 20.
Yes, and she didn't think to
Accidentally.
drop
Did you
some
accidentally
round.
eat 10?
I've got a box outside my door. You know, people put nice things in them. Just a little hint there.
Hint! That was a hint, foghorn, wasn't it? Hint!
You've got to, you know, sometimes people are in their own little world and they just think this is something they watch on the screen. They don't realise we're real people. We're real starving people with no homes to go to. I think we better open this quick.
Yeah, I think you better.
So we're going to open you, and don't be... Yeah.
Don't be what?
I was going to say, don't eat it all. So what do you get in a Malteser's Easter egg this time this year?
This time of this year, you get a Malteser's teaser bar. I've never had one of those.
Malteser's teaser bar.
Oh, it looks good though.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
That's nice. Look at that.
Oh.
Bit of advertising.
Oh.
We weren't sponsored by them, by the way,
No.
but if you're from Maltesers, then don't forget you can send us 100 of these a week and we will promote them left, right and centre, as well as eating them. How many of those do you get in there? 2,
which is lucky.
Oh, that's handy. I'll have 1 minute. Thank you. And what else do we get?
1 golden egg.
Gold. Now, do you think there's anything inside the golden egg? Does it feel hollow?
It's chocolate.
Yeah, no, but is it?
It's just an egg.
Oh, there's nothing in it?
No.
In the old days, they used to fill up the eggs, didn't they? Do you remember?
Satisfying though. Look at it. Nice.
I thought for a moment you were going to crash it on my head.
That's a good idea.
You know, I shouldn't be putting ideas into your head.
If I put it back in this, so that it's all...
We can gobble it a bit.
Kadoosh! The thoughts are nice,
yes,
idea, but I don't think I could
there.
do that to
anyone. So we're going to just sample these, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, in front of you. What else have we got in terms of the comments? I know you're trying to open that and eat, but I'm a slave
Zom
driver.
Coco says they look delicious. Colonel Cragratti says it came with a restraining order on the egg. Oh, stay away from
Yeah, stay away. Trev's Travel says the box is now empty, Julia. Well, it is now, yes. That's a shame. And do you eat all of them? Says Ron. Oh, did
Just thought I'd do
yeah, it's a nice Easter helmet.
Yes, my Easter bonnet. Oh.
And
my unicorn fell in the bubble mixture.
Oh dear.
Don't.
I have what's this? Bonnie says I have some away down at the beach hut. Oh, some of her hot cross buns. That's true. And Mark Burgess says, "Sorry, am late. YouTube was hiding you." It does do that, doesn't it? You have those issues.
Yes, I do, and it's very frustrating.
So I've just tried some of this. It's very nice, actually. It is a bit like they couldn't be bothered to form them into the little balls, so they've just glued
Put them in tiny little balls.
And glued them in. Slightly different.
That was harder than I expected.
Rock hard. Sean Ford says, I'm joking in with a chocolate cookie. Oh, I'm joining in. Sorry, there's some distance between me and...
excuses, it worked.
Yeah, and humanity.
One eye.
Linda Kane says, Richard is very excited about chocolate considering he doesn't eat sugar. I know, this is the problem. I may get a sugar rush. I'm just telling you, it may just come into me. Now, you may notice it will be very subtle if I suddenly get, a little bit more excited than normal. You might actually understand. But you know what I mean?
Michael White says, sit on the egg, see if you can hatch it.
Oh, you never know. I'm feeling a bit windy at the moment, so it's nice that it's got a cavity to fill up.
You tell me that now.
I haven't done it yet. Now, we have another little surprise for the lovely Julia, but we'll come on to that a little bit later. So, I think it's time for a bit of surreal videos. Anybody remember that film? I can't remember what it was. Picnic? Was it Picnic at Hanging Rock? Do you remember Picnic at Hanging Rock? Or was it Hanging at Picnic Rock? That was a murderous one, Hanging at Picnic Rock. It started with this old grizzly man with a beard and a big monocle. And he was trying to do his washing, and he was hanging them at a rock, which a number of people... Anyway, that's not a film. But I believe that whatever the first version of it was, because I've now forgotten the real version. Picnic at Hanging Rock, as opposed to Hanging at Picnic Rock. That's it. Anyway, that was a film. And the lovely Andrew Norris was out there in Croatia somewhere. God knows where. It's a big country. And he had his dog Zorro. And he was out there filming with Zorro one day, and he thought, this is just like a scene from that film, Jaws. No, not Jaws. The rock hanging film. And so he's made his own surreal version of it. Would you like to see it? Yes, yes, absolutely. And this one, you need no drugs to understand any of it, because I've helped you explain the plot. Now then, Mr. Norris, where are you on the dial? Here we are. Here we go. Oh, blimey, sorry.
Ooh.
I know. I'm not used to having somebody in the studio.
Pardon? What'd you say?
I said I'd like to deafen you in the studio.
I need to lip read. Say that again. That's what I thought you said.
Yeah. Now I've got to just do all my sounds again. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what you made of that. I think that they were clips from the original film. Of
interspersed with Zorro climbing through the rocks.
Yes, interspersed with some Victorians.
Love seeing Zorro. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Funny little video.
Pop a little bit more volume on, please.
Don't.
On what? Which one? We've only just... I can't do anything
now
about...
or the video?
Yes, I can't do it. If the videos aren't loud enough, I can't do anything about that, I'm afraid. That was at maximum volume that it will permit me to put it out. So apologies for that. The producers are responsible for their buffering up their volume. I can lower them, but I can't raise them.
Hope Zorro didn't disappear, Andrew, says Michael White. Yeah, me too.
Did you get him back? In the end, studio audio is a bit...
low compared to pre-video. Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, the studio video is low. Yeah, well, we're on the microphones. It's a snag. Let's try and mix them as we go.
Snag and the snag.
Anyway, I can see it going into the red.
I wonder. In that
Now,
balance there? No.
it's all a bit confusing here because normally I have a lot more space.
Yeah, sorry about it.
There's this woman next to me, which is lovely. Lovely to have you back in the studio.
It's lovely to be back.
So
lovely to be eating chocolate.
Absolutely, very lovely to be eating chocolate. Now, oh yes, that's right. Somebody said that the roll call wasn't done.
Oh yes, that's right.
Did you want to do the roll call?
Should I do the roll call? I'll do it
definitely.
as quickly as can.
Do you want me to do it? Do you want me to have the participants? Would that be easier, just to see them like this? Oh,
Yeah,
there's not as many though.
Yeah, that won't be all of the people
Why
that
is
have
it doesn't-
commented.
Oh, I
Because
see.
it only does people who have commented recently and stuff like that.
Oh, I see. It's so complicated. I don't understand it.
So should we start at the bottom and go up?
Yes.
Easier. We have the lovely Ramaboo 2, the lovely Linda Kane, the lovely Sean James Cameron, the lovely Ernie Samat, the lovely Jeffrey Harrison, the lovely Andrew Norris, the lovely Colonel Cragratty, the lovely Mark Donny McLeod, the lovely Michael White, the lovely Station Master's Choice, the lovely Jackie Lowe, the lovely Dave Evad, the lovely Judith, mwah, the lovely, I think we said Station Master's Choice,
Yeah, we
the
did.
lovely Ron Langley, the lovely Bonnie H, the lovely Michael White, did I say you? The lovely Jen Colley, the lovely Skilt, the lovely Rasputin of Artington, the lovely Kerry Baldwin, the lovely Jackie Lono, I said you, the lovely Sean Ford, the lovely Sensible Paul, the lovely Linda Kane, I think I said you as well. Anyway, the lovely Mark Burgess, the lovely Zom Coco, the lovely Ron Langley, I said you, the lovely Elaine Whitelock, the lovely Robert Croser. And any more for any more? I said Rami Booty.
Oh, did you? Sorry, I beg your pardon.
Any more?
Andrew Norris? You say him?
Said you? Yeah. The lovely Ian Dance. There you go. It's the people who've only put one. Oh, the lovely Elfwald. The lovely... Who else? Oh, Daniel Watkins. G Ramps. The lovely Kevin Smith. Sorry, the lovely G Ramps. The lovely Graham Cass. The lovely Alison O'Brien. The lovely Tracy Murphy. The lovely anyone else? Oh, I've said Judith. Mwah. She gets kisses.
All right, fair enough. Is that more or less Paul
I think
Cockerell?
that's the lovely Paul Cockerell, the lovely Glyn Horton, and the lovely Darren Howell, the lovely Anna Jones. Anybody else? Anybody else out there? I think we've got you.
Excellent. Well done. There we are. Sorry about that. We got a bit confused with all the excitement, really, of having somebody actually a person next to you in the studio. Has anybody else changed in their situation with the new restrictions? That'd be quite interesting. Have you? I mean, now that my son has left home, you see, I'm a single person, so I can have somebody as a bubble, which means I can now say that Julia is my bubble buddy, I think it goes, and that's really good. And that means that you can come into the studio and you can come and go whenever you please and take the family silver, apparently.
You've got family silver?
No.
Oh, can I just add?
Yeah.
The lovely, now, forgive me if I don't pronounce this correctly, Jared Merlich?
Jared?
Mehrlich. But yes. Hello,
Yes.
the lovely Jared.
Yes, you're lovely too. Very lovely. Thank you very
from
much.
Oregon, apparently.
And Brenda.
And lovely Brenda Bowham? Bowham, I'd say.
Don't
Bowham.
ask me ever to read people's names, because I mean, unless they're very easy, I struggle. It's got to be phonetic with me, otherwise it's pathetic with me. So there we go. Now, we also have something else I want to present to the lovely Julia, who's here in the studio.
Is she?
Yeah, apparently. You may remember it last week. We were having a bit of feedback, weren't we?
Yes.
And you said, do you want me to put my headphones on? And you said, oh, wait a minute, I got a problem with my headphones. And then you showed us your headphones, and we saw.
He was swinging.
It was like,
What did I just drop?
Oh, that was
yeah.
headphones.
Speaking of headphones.
Took her headphones. She's just
Straight
dropped the
breaking
studio.
another one.
The studio headphones are now broken, ladies and gentlemen.
Da-da-da.
Anyway, so I thought, right, okay, well, we better get you a pair. So you were.
I'm there scrolling, looking, la la la. Oh, that's a nice pair. He says, "Oh, not that pair," jokingly.
Yeah.
I was like, "Look at this," and he looked at them and was like, "Oh, buy them."
So I've purchased because Julia is a lovely lady. I've got her a nice pair of headphones. We were gonna plug them in and use them in the studio today. But I only just read, and I didn't know this, you must have known it when you told me which ones to get, that they're wireless. Yeah. And I'm not geared up for wireless. That's why you see leads and cables here. I'm not geared for wireless. But you'll be able to use them at home, won't you? So when you're not in the studio doing your on-location stuff.
Well, I'll still be able to do shows from home. So I'll only be able to come in once a week to the studio, see?
Yes, because she's got children, you see.
So we have a charging cable. I don't know whether that will also double as an audio cable.
Probably not. I wouldn't.
No.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so. I would have thought if it's battery operated.
Oh, that's the microphone. Plugs in. That's the dongle. See.
Oh, that's the
plugs
dongle.
Into the
I don't know where
CPU.
I would plug that. You see, because I don't know because of the complicated nature of how I've routed the audio. The audio does need to come out of my. There's a little box.
Feel that plastic.
Nice. It's almost material-like.
Yes.
What should I do with that? Bin it? Anyway, show the lovely viewer the wonderful.
Beautiful. They smell like.
Because it's basically the colour is what I was sold on.
Well, that's the colour that sold me, but they
Yeah.
are top notch. Oh, I can't hear anything when I do that. Boom. Anyway.
And
Get
it
a bit
has
bolshy, old
you have a
age.
microphone that goes with it.
Yeah.
What I like is on the inside it does say L and R for listen.
And I actually
right.
got them on the right ears.
Yeah, you did.
That's impressive.
So you know which way to put them on. So anyway, so there we are. That's a gift from me to the lovely Julia
Thank
for
you.
all her assistance and help in doing everything that she does.
Thank you very, 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 very much.
They're not the
indeed.
cheapest in the world. Now I'm bankrupt, but don't let that worry you, ladies and gentlemen. Eric is fiddling around again. Yes, what a great pair. Thank you. He's talking about both of us. What did you think about the headphones, though? That was the question. I used to live in St. John's area, says Rami Boo. Nice. And are those headphones made of chocolate? If only.
Boop.
Don't do that. You'll be able to hear my innermost brain thoughts. Jackie Lowe
that's
says they're
me.
fab.
Definitely don't
Do they smell purple? They smell new.
Yeah, I suppose they do.
They look
They smell
amazing.
new.
Cool headphones. Cool.
So comfy. Feel that. It's memory foam.
Oh yes, I remember it. So so next time that we see Julia on a remote, hopefully you've got them sorted out at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Don't forget that.
Don't forget that.
Don't forget that. Now listen, we will take your calls on tonight's show. 0793 4746 790. If you want to give us a ring before the next video, then please do, or we will plough straight on. It's always nice to hear from our lovely viewers. Don't forget you can call at any time, but not when we're playing a video. 0793 4746 790. It is the normal premium XXX rate, which will cost you about £5 a second. But don't let that worry you. All the money goes to a good cause, as you saw. He lies glibly. So we also have some more pictures which I wanted to share with you. Let's have a look at these.
Just
pictures.
1 second.
Yes.
Skilt says, why not set up Super Chat?
Yes, I don't know if I'm eligible for Super Chat on the...
I think you are.
I don't know if I've got over 1,000 subscribers now, so we may be able to do that. The only thing about Super Chat is, of course, I don't think anyone will I don't know what the minimum payment is, but let's say it's £1. We'll just spend £1 to basically do what you're doing for free.
Yeah, but it means if people can donate. It means people can donate if they want to.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. That is true. Yeah, so we'll have to look at that. We'll have to look. But you see that the community is so nice. I don't want to fleece it. I just feel that you could say to the audience, if you want to support us, hand over the keys to your house and move out. Send in some money. That would be nice, rather than making it that in order to have preferential treatment here. I mean, it's very much a random thing that we just happen to pick out a comment, isn't it? Because of the nature of the show.
Speaking of, Jeffrey Harrison says, when the studio goes upstairs to the bedroom, are you going to allow Julia in your bedroom? Well, no, because it'll be the studio then, won't it?
It will be a studio. It won't be a bedroom anymore, because Billy and Sharifa will have gone and all their bedroom furniture will have gone and it will look like a studio. The fact that it is what you might, if you were selling the house, call it the master bedroom, it won't be the master in his bedroom, if you see what I mean.
Sean James Cameron says, Super Chat is a rip-off, as YouTube will take 40% on top of their normal cut. Do not do it!
No.
No,
whenever I watch any live thing and they use Super Chat, there must be some very rich people out there, because sometimes people are going in and putting in £10, and then it also stops the flow, because then they feel obliged to mention that person who's put the money in. I was watching one guy, and he was in depth in the subject that he was talking about, and then he went, we've just had this super tap for £10. Hello, Barry, blah, 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 blah. Very nice. And then it was like, hang on a minute, you were halfway through something, you've lost your train of thought. Whereas we can go through something, get to the end, and then go, let's see what the comments say, and we'll just pull out, if we've missed comments, you've missed comments, but we try to read them, obviously, as we go.
Robert Brailsford says, YouTube take a share of Super Chat. Best to donate via Bold Explorer.
Yeah, absolutely. Whoa!
Archie Jenner says, I've seen £800 Super Chats before.
£800.
That's insanity.
That is,
the most I've seen is like $50.
Wait, did you say it's 300 on there, isn't it? Paul Cockrell. Oh, there we are.
No, that's a different one. I've seen people donate 300 on Super Chat on some channels.
300. I mean, if I've got this wrong, feel free to send 300 or 800 or 50,000. Feel free to send it. I mean, if that money is burning a hole in your pocket and you really don't know what to do with it, we can really make the studio a bit nuts. There was some premises just down the road from me. Unfortunately, it was sold. It was going for £200,000.
That would have been a cool studio.
And it needs a lot of renovation, apparently. But
the best thing about it, well, maybe not the best, but one of the great things about it is it's got what's his name? Horace, he calls himself. The Worthing Banksy.
The Worthing Banksy's.
Two of his art pieces on it.
I would have just obviously whitewashed over that immediately. But it would have been great to buy an actual premises and set it up properly. And what would be great, is to get to the point where you could actually afford a third person to operate the cameras and the gear. You'd have remote cameras, but somebody sitting there doing all the sound, monitoring the sound, cutting to camera, and then that would give us that freedom to move about. which would be good.
Just a little help for Ramaboo too. G733 Logitech. That's what these ones are.
Yeah, look them up.
And there are other colour combinations. These might be a bit too lavender for your nephew, but
they're expensive,
they're
though.
gorgeous.
£956,000 they
if
were.
they'd been that much, I wouldn't even shown them to you.
No. Some super chats with hundreds of viewers. The chat goes through so quickly that few of the questions and comments are seen, says Linda Kane. Yes, no, that's very true. And that's one of the issues about growing the channel too big. You know, on the one hand, you're doing this on a regular thing that you know, it's a job and you need money. And on the other hand, if you have too many people, as you say, you lose the personal touch, and all of that's part of it.
Bonnie says, get an intern.
Get an intern. Yeah, you could do that, but that's ripping people off as well.
Just a bit of a stupid random one here. What exactly does intern mean anyway?
Internal, isn't it?
Internal.
You know, an intern is somebody who's working for nothing. I think an intern, you can rearrange the letters, add more, take some away, and make slave come out of it. It's you know, somebody working for nothing. I mean, the TVs used to do that. The TV industry was rife for having people doing all the shite jobs and not paying them, because everybody wanted to work in television. When I win the Euro, you're first on my list. But there's somebody,
Thanks,
apparently,
Giraffes.
somebody won whatever it was, 22 million the other week, the Euro million. 22 million. If you're one of those, if you're watching with that 22 million, just one of those millions would be, you know, that would help the Vobes show a bit. I mean, I don't know, this is on a side note, anybody watch Boris this evening when he was giving his thing? He's in his new revamped studio. I forget what it is, £2 million they spent on a tiny stage, a couple of flags and a blue screen behind it.
$2 million.
I don't know, how did they manage to spend that much money on what looked like, I don't know, a $5,000 set? I mean, it's
I need a face palm reset.
But it was something like 2 million they spent for and now, a year after when we were watching the briefings, it's like, yeah, Boris, it's a bit late now, isn't it? Plus the fact that 2 million could have actually gone on to lowering the debt that we, the taxpayer, are having to pay for this lockdown fiasco. Just to mention it.
It was 122 million, apparently.
What? Boris
says Josephine Suter. No, I'm guessing the
lottery
payout.
Lottery. Oh, I was going to say 122 million. Mm-hmm. So I was 100 million out.
Uh-huh.
Blimey.
22 million was.
I listened.
Sorry, my brain cells just went.
I listened to a radio program and they were talking about this. And the presenter said to the other person he was chatting to, he said, well, what would you do with 122 million? And the other person said, oh, well, I'd probably invest in something and blah, blah. And I thought, how greedy are you have to be? You've just got 122 million. You invest to make more. How sodding greedy? I mean, you couldn't spend it.
No.
I mean, it's just like, can't you just stick it in the bank and just, you know, live off the interest?
I was going to say, a person throughout their lifetime shouldn't need even £1 million throughout their lifetime, you know.
Linda says 120 million, who wants it? Not me. I mean, it would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? It would change.
But think of all the forests I could save.
Well, unless that's true, and unless you were doing something incredibly altruistic.
I was going to say, with great money comes a lot more problems and a lot of responsibility.
Yes.
So.
And Nigel Sadler says, yes, you could spend it. Well, of course, I mean, it's a ridiculous thing to say you couldn't spend it, but what I mean is you couldn't
buy my own island.
You could buy your own island, but what I mean is that you shouldn't.
And a whole herd of horses.
You couldn't spend it if you just stuck to your normal lifestyle.
No.
Your lifestyle would change because you would be spent, whether you're buying up forests or land to keep, you know, that's the sort of thing I would probably do, is to make sure that land that was going to be built on couldn't be built on. I would be trying to protect as much as the
green belts and things like that.
I'm sure it would make life a lot more comfortable. Well, of course it would make comfortable, but who wants a comfortable life? I bought an Essie to be more uncomfortable.
The thing is, if I had money like that, I would...
What?
No, my brain cell just blew again, don't worry. facepalm reset.
Yeah. Andrew Norris says you could give it all to the people who mean something to you. Of course you could. Absolutely. You would help out. I'm sure you would help out.
You can have $1 million, and you can have $1 million, and you can have $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't find 122 people to give it to.
I don't know why I said dollars.
Well, you give them dollars.
Dollars.
You still got a lot left, haven't you? Because there's a pound to the dollar.
It's less than 100.
Anyway,
1,000.
right, we're going to look at some steampunk, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'm going to show you some wonderful pictures. Ron Langley sent in some pictures. He says, "Here, Richard, are some photographs that might interest the Vobesters, especially Colonel Craig Ratty, of my retirement party a few years ago." This is from Ron Langley and Elaine Johnson. And so Ron and Elaine have dressed up in their steampunk gear. Have a little look at this. There. Oh, look at that. I love that hat you're wearing. Look at that.
Wonderful.
What an amazing... Oh, sorry, I keep going in super focus.
What a beautiful couple.
And here is that the same picture again? And here we are. Look. Dancing the night away. What a lovely pair of coconuts. In the background there, hanging from the walls. But love the hat gear. Did you make them? Did you rent them? How did it come about? We want to know. Do tell us. Steampunk
Fantastic.
is a very popular thing. Now, Colonel Craig Ratty is into steampunk. He sent us a video. So we're going to have a look at his video, which again is a selection of pictures all montaged up. So let's have a look at that, and then we can talk about Ron's and Colonel Craig Ratty's steampunk stuff. So I think... No, it doesn't work like that. I have to do this. It still doesn't work. Why is it? Why have I... It will work now. So there we go. Yeah, sorry about some of the text disappearing off the screen. That's how the video came to me. I'm sorry. Oh, my microphone has moved. That's how the video came over to me. So I apologise for that. Yeah, we like the comments there. What was the one? Steampunk make my day.
Yeah.
And Ron said, what did Ron say about his hats?
Friend made them.
Oh, how lovely. Lovely to have friends who makes you hats like that.
Who makes a hat like this?
Yeah, who makes a hat like that? You're funneling the Easter egg there.
Yes, because you said you wanted more chocolate.
Well, I did want more chocolate. You have to break it on something.
Yes. What about this noggin of yours?
Go on then.
Which is the hardest part of the head? Is it that bit or that bit?
No, don't go for my soft bit. You know, like babies have a soft bit. Don't go for that. There, that's the hardest bit.
Okay, ready? Ready?
Oh, Christ. Bloody hell.
You worked there.
She enjoyed that. Oh, it worked. It worked, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Have a look at this. Hang on, I've got to get back into
It
the
loosened them
thing.
up, so I just pushed them through with my thumbs.
Why isn't that? Wow, for goodness sake. There we go, look.
Chocolate.
Oh, look at that. Thank you so much, Elaine. Are you eating it already? Very nice. Elaine, thank you so much. That's so kind of you.
Sean Ford says, ouch, we all felt that.
I bet you did.
Mark Burgess says, Julia has egged him.
Of course, what I should have done is put the reverb on.
Jackie Lowe says, can we have that in slow-mo?
No.
Rob Murphy says that was a bit extreme.
It was extreme. Very good. Like these puns and jokes. Keep them coming. Now, maybe somebody out there fancy giving us a quick call on 0793 4746 790. Numbers on the screen. Just there.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's our number, so call us maybe. Didn't just make that up.
You didn't just make that up?
No, I didn't just make that up.
I thought you just made that up.
You looked at me with that. Ooh, well done you.
Well done you. Can you sing it again?
Not with chocolate in my mouth.
Oh. I was going to put the reverb on and, make it sound really good. I mean, not saying that it wasn't really good already. I'm going to get into trouble. Bonehead beads chocolate every time. Oh, Bonehead beats chocolate every time.
Oh, is that the paper, scissors, stone reference?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ron Langley says, you two are a couple of dimwits.
Thanks. Very nice.
Which one's wit?
Yeah. Which one's dim and which one's wit? Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I know which one I'll end up being.
Hey, here's our number.
Oh, wait,
so
hang
call us maybe.
on. I've got to turn the reverb up. Okay.
Hey, oh, I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Oh.
It's gone.
Oh, well, never mind. Not to worry. Meanwhile, Mark Donny McLeod, here we go. He says, Dear Richard, please find attached the photos of a visitor found in my living room on Saturday. I released her into the garden to find her way home or a new nesting spot. Note the markings on her back. From a hive close by, I'd say, part of someone's stock. My gran used to mark her bees with a 1-inch hairbrush. Oh, a one hair brush. One hair to mark a bee. So stay safe and have a good day in the sunshine. And here is the picture. And whilst you're looking at the picture,
Wow.
we will find out who's on the call. So hang on a moment. We've got to put our headphones on. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Sir Richard and the lovely Lady Julia.
Ah, wait a minute. Hang on. I can barely hear you now. I wonder why that is.
Oh, why is that?
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello, darlings.
Who is that calling the Vobes show?
It's Alan Sandell.
Oh,
Hello,
Alan
Sandell.
Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Surrey.
You mean you're back in Blighty?
I am back in Blighty and I'm in, what do you call it, COVID prison until I've done my time.
Oh, right. Now,
Oh, well, welcome home.
It's
Thank
not.
you,
It's
thank you.
lovely to have you here. You're sounding a bit quiet, and I don't know quite how to.
I'm shouting into the phone.
Yes, no, it might be my end.
Oh dear.
I know. There's a bit of a.
Got some you can get ointment for
I'm,
that.
I'm just going to try something. Hold on a second. I'm just
No
gonna...
sound from Surrey, says Bonnie H. Still very quiet,
Oh,
says
right.
Nigel Sadler.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to try that. Are you there?
Hello.
Oh, that made no difference whatsoever. You are plugged in here, aren't you? And you're
Are you in a tunnel, says Dave.
Yeah, oh yes, yes. No, that's bad, isn't it?
It's because
It's because I'm here.
It's because Julia's in the studio, and I've had to reroute the phone through a different system. I'm just trying.
Good point, Mike Stevens. Is Eric in the cellar? Eric, can you help us out? Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Quite loud.
Right, hang on a minute.
Is that any different?
Let's sort of keep going.
Hello, hello. Ahoy there!
How is that? Is that anybody? Oh, I'm just wondering where you're coming in on.
Is the volume on the phone turned up full, says Nigel Sadler.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, there's so many different knobs and buttons here.
Are subtitles available, says Sean Ford.
Try that.
That sounds a bit better.
Hello,
this
that
end.
sounds better.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's better.
Is that good?
Is that good for you?
Oh, blimey, that's loud.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm so
I'll
sorry.
sit back here.
So now listen, young fella, my lad. When did you come in?
Oh, well, I came in last Saturday week, so I think my 10 days are up tomorrow.
Oh, blimey. So what have you been doing in that time? What do they permit you to do?
Oh, absolutely no. You mustn't show your face out of the door, although I can show my face out of the back door because the patio is my property. So I figure I can isolate in part on the patio if I want to.
So I see. Oh, you're not in a centre. You're not in a designated place to.
Oh, no. Only if you're from a country designated a red zone do you have to definitely go into isolation. But if you're from somewhere like the USA, then if you've got somewhere of your own or family or somewhere where you can isolate, then you don't have to fork out 1,750 quid and whatever else it is to isolate, and that would have killed me. That might.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
A hotel room for 10 days, that would definitely have killed me.
yeah, that's what I thought was going on. So you're at your home.
Yes.
In the
yes,
UK,
I'd already bought a home on the internet.
Oh, well done. Fantastic. It's amazing what you can buy on the internet. I was looking for
From
a net
Amazon.
From Amazon. So,
Yeah.
so hang on. Hang on. Just before that, I just want to get this in my. So you are at your home,
Yes.
and it's on blind faith, really, that they trust you to isolate. I mean, you could nip out to the shops if you would. Nobody. I mean, they haven't got an armed guard watching you.
Oh, well, yes, there is a lady manager here.
Oh, is
who
it?
always on guard.
Is that the wife?
No. It's the sort of in-house manager of the retirement complex. She's constantly on guard to repel boarders with COVID and such things. So,
Oh, right.
yes, I wouldn't dare mess with her.
No. So, but if you lived in a private house.
Oh, I don't think there's anything to stop you, really.
That's what I was kind of getting at.
Yeah, I mean, it's something like 20,000 people a day come back into the country, 8,000 of them tourists. I mean, there's no way they're busy breaking up demonstrations or something.
But haven't you've had the jab though, haven't you?
I've had both. I've had 2 jabs.
So I don't understand. You've had the 2 jabs. Why should you be isolating? What I mean, either these things work or they don't. If they don't work, you're sorry.
And yeah, and within 3 days of your flying, you have to have a negative test as well.
This is where I find the whole thing a bit barking. We were told that once there was the vaccine, that the vulnerable people would get vaccinated and then we could all have a life. And that made logic, because if you as a younger person and a healthy person got it, It's not going to kill you. It might incapacitate you for a little bit, but that's fine. And if you passed it on, you'd only be passing it on to other people like you who were not vulnerable. And anybody who was vulnerable would be shielded because the vaccine was doing its work. So there's you. You've been vaccinated. You've come here. Why on earth have you got to isolate?
I know it's the belt and braces and your neighbour's belt and his braces, and of course I've had to have 2 tests while I'm here in isolation.
I mean, it's like it doesn't attach to your clothes. Is that what they're worried about? It's like your person has got it, but now it can attach to, I don't know, your aura.
Did you just say the vaccination protects the vulnerable? It only protects the vulnerable if they have had the vaccination.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I'm just checking that that's what.
Yeah,
you meant.
no, but I mean, if everybody's, so in theory, you see, this is what I understood. The whole point of the vaccine is it.
The point is, the vaccine stops you suffering it to a fatal degree, but it doesn't stop you carrying and passing on the disease.
What's the point of that? Why not have a vaccine that
because it means that people that would have died from COVID, without the vaccine, won't die from it after the vaccine.
Yes, but what I mean is, why not have a vaccine that just stops you from getting it and stops you from passing it on?
Well, that would be great, but that's not what we have, apparently.
Complicated stuff. Very complicated.
Biology is a complex thing, isn't it?
No, they've got a new story I read in the USA. I read it online in the papers today. They're saying there's a variant which is far more deadly for people between 30 and 50, so they better hurry up and get the vaccine.
Oh, miss me out then, because I'm over 50.
Yeah, you're all right then.
I'm all right.
You escaped that one. Yeah,
I'm in a very good. I'm in that bracket where I'm not over 80, so COVID won. It won't affect me. And this one that you're talking about, you're in that bracket.
Sorry, what was that?
If you're between 30 and 50, you'll just wither up and die. But if you're between 50 and 80, you're fine, mate. You're fine. You can go on the town and you can dance the night away and have a heart attack and get knocked down by all sorts of. You'll have a stroke or something. Something else will get us.
Well, I actually survived hand sanitizer because do you remember when you couldn't get it? I mean, not for love nor money, at least where I was in the States, you couldn't get. And I walked into an off license one day, and they had some bottles of hand sanitizer made by a local distiller, and it was 80% alcohol, not 80% proof, actually 80% alcohol.
Oh my God!
And it was quite cheap. So of course I did my shopping, went back out to the car, and you're supposed to slosh hand sanitizer all over, and this was just like
neat,
thin as water. So I thought, oh, this is going to be good. Yeah, that'll get everywhere. And then I did a rather stupid thing. I lit a cigarette and set my hands on fire.
Oops.
Oh my God! And so, what did you do? Plunge them into something, or plunge them in your pocket?
Plunge. Yeah. Well, I sort of waved them about, and
let the oxygen get in it. That really helps.
You can't see the flame, but by golly,
oh gosh, yeah. I thought you were going to say that because it was 100% alcoholic or whatever, the skin absorbed it and just got you drunk really badly. But burning your hands is even worse.
Fortunately, there was no actual burn. It just got extremely hot.
Yeah.
So I really shouldn't be allowed near that hand sanitizer.
No. I try to avoid using it. I don't know. I wonder what's going to happen to a generation of people who have put this stuff on them all the time. I mean, I just don't think it's very good for you to clean yourself to that. I mean, wash your hands in soap and water, no problem. Do that. But these other things, I just think what that must be doing to the biology and the chemistry of your body if you're doing it 5, 6, 7 times a day.
Makes your skin drop off.
I'm sure it does. I think there's going to be a whole.
What are you talking about? Washing your hands?
In sanitizer.
No. Oh, in sanitizer.
In stuff that kills the biology that is part of life. I can't help feeling that keeping hands clean by just water and soap is a more natural way of doing things.
Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't hurt to do the whole sanitizer gel going into and out of a shop, and then just wash your hands when you get home.
No,
wash
but I'm
that stuff
talking
off.
about those who are barking and doing it
right,
8
yeah.
or 20 times.
Well, we'll each deal with these things in our own ways, won't we?
Oh, absolutely. I'm just making a comment about it.
Understood.
We're all survivors. We've survived so far.
Yes.
The thing that's strange is in Texas, nothing is shut down at all, but the COVID cases are still going down.
Yeah. I mean, this is happening in many different places now, that they're realising exactly that these lockdowns do not work. But of course, the government's not going to own that up, because that would open them up to a huge amount of abuse and suing and stuff. But
doesn't seem to be working on the continent, though, does it? They've got a right old mess there.
Yes, they're behind on everything, aren't they? They haven't got their vaccines. The EU have shown their true colours there, I'm afraid.
It's all our fault. It's all our fault. It's our Kent mutation that's doing it to Europe. That's what Mr. Macron says.
Yes. Well, Chile have a bit of a problem, because they vaccinated everybody pretty much, and now they've got a third wave, and they're all worried. But I couldn't quite work out whether the vaccine that they've had is not the same two that we've been using. It's a different one, apparently. So
it's either I think it's either the Chinese one or the Russian one, which they've used mainly.
Right. Well, who knows?
And have we seen any information published about how good they are?
Yeah.
I haven't. None at all.
No, it's very suspect, really, and so they're all suffering.
Might be the Chinese one, I think, but a lot of European countries are trying to get hold of that, because Mrs. whatever her name is, the president of the EU, doesn't seem to do a very good job.
Oh yeah, what's her name? Because she's got a name that I always think isn't a Chinese name.
Van Linden or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Van Damme. No, that's
Jean Van Damme, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, that was me.
You knocking things with your lead.
He's demolishing the studio there.
Oh, I know.
Makes changes, usually me.
I do need to demolish the studio and move it up into the new suite. The new suite sounds really great. It's going to be a bit of a Heath Robinson to start with until things are in a proper place. But I do hope that we can get the technology working a little bit better. There's going to be a lot of mental thought processes going on in that. Yeah. But anyway, so you're hang on a minute. Are you back for good now?
Oh yes. Because the only other family I had over in the States was my daughter and 2 grandchildren, and they've had enough of it. They made it out by the skin of their teeth last May.
Oh yeah, you said that's right.
Before they had to do any sort of lockdown isolation type stuff, because it's a bit difficult to find somewhere to live and buy a car and do all that sort of stuff.
Right.
Isolated. She had to get back by a particular time to report for duty for her new job. So she had to do a mad escape.
Yes.
Including getting passports printed the same day and being told you now have to leave.
So coming back to the UK, because you were in Texas and you had snow, didn't you?
Oh, we had that vicious. Yes, I think over 100 people died, mostly from carbon monoxide poisoning, from trying to find strange ways to keep warm.
Oh, right. So they had a generator in their house or something, and it was poisoning them. Yeah,
bring the barbecue in, or one poor lady and her daughter went and sat in the car in the garage, and all this business. Because people had friends of mine had just zero power. I had power every sort of 2 hours out of 4. So, you had to go to... Well, the power came on. So
sorry, had to go to where? Sorry,
had to go where?
Then.
Sorry, the phone just dropped out for a second. Had to go where?
Oh, well. No, well, you had to, if the power came on in the night, you had to be ready to go and cook something in case it went out again.
Yes, because you only had limited supply. So coming back now into the UK to a little bit of sanity, it sounds.
Yeah.
The weather, we've had sort of hot one day and cool the next day. Are you more climatised now on your patio out there at the care home?
Well, last week was care home. How dare you, sir? Retirement home.
I would have been for you.
I'm so sorry.
Our care home comes later. When I start staggering. Yes, no, last week was lovely, wasn't it? That was perfect temperatures, up in the 60s and so on. Because I was having as you get older, in my opinion, it's more difficult to acclimatise to the severe temperatures in the Texas summer. You know, it goes up in old money. It can go up above 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade. I think we had 29 successive days like that a few years back.
100 degrees Fahrenheit. What's that in centigrade? I can't understand. Somebody else was telling me about Fahrenheit or something, and I thought, I don't understand what that means, Fahrenheit.
You're too young to remember. What was it?
Well, when I was at school, they did stuff in Fahrenheit, but we also did centigrade. Centigrade made much more sense because boiling point is 100 and freezing is 0. You've just got the two extremes and degrees in between, which makes so much more sense. I mean, I don't know how Fahrenheit ever got going with its weird beginning and end.
I think, the temperatures in the what do you call it? The heat factor, the heat index, was certainly up in the 40s centigrade.
What is it in the 40s? You see, golly, that's hot.
Which was about what it was like when I was in the Sahara Desert once.
Wow.
So, yes, it gets very hot. Everybody has air conditioning, of course, but you really don't want to step outside.
Yes,
no, I mean, I don't have air conditioning because I just don't. I mean, I'm bald, so.
Similar to Saudi Arabian heat, though.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
What did they do? I mean, you see, everyone has air conditioning, but what did they do before air conditioning?
They had something called a swamp cooler, which is you have a sort of reservoir of water, and a pump blows air over it, and that cools it down maybe a few degrees, and that's about that's what some people have in California if say they're up north and it doesn't normally get too hot. Well, just have
in programs like It Ain't Half Hot Mum, didn't they have a puck? What they call him, a puckerwaller,
with a big fan,
who used to have that thing, and he, they would be the bloke in the corner purposely just doing this all day long. And I would have thought,
Yes, as Michael White says, they had a man with a van, a fan.
A man with a fan.
Fluff that one.
And the thing about that is, sometimes you're in a job, and you just think the lack of responsibility, and the lack of all you've got to do is move the fan up and down. Actually, that's sometimes that kind of appeals a bit, doesn't it? You haven't got to go and make another video every day, or appear on the Vobes show and try and be entertaining. It's just you just got to go like that.
Well, we probably can't watch that show anymore now. It's probably not politically correct or something.
Oh, I know. It's probably you probably can't get. They're probably erasing the tapes as we speak.
Well, what was that? No, I can't remember the name of it now. The old brain box is going. That no, forget it.
Yeah.
But yes, I think YouTube have just dumped another one because an episode of another series because somebody said the POOF word.
Oh. The POOF word.
Can't be watching any stuff like that. Well, is it? It's the Muppets. Disney now. They've got the Muppet Show, and they put a warning up about how disgusting this kind of language was then, and it's disgusting now. But watch it anyway.
Disgusting. The Muppet Show. Here's a program for children, but we just give you this warning. It's absolutely disgusting what the sort of things they're going to talk about. These are puppets that people have their hands up their backsides and make them talk. And they've got bulging eyes and coloured fur. It's absolutely disgusting. Definitely not watch that. Dear, oh dear. Listen, Alan Sandell, it's been a joy to talk to you, but we better move on. But thank you so much for your jolly chat. Do call again.
Will do. Cheers now.
Yeah,
bye.
Take care.
Take care, lovely. Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Alan Sandell. Next time, you'll be able to use your special new headphones.
The spangly new ones.
Yes, which will keep you all... Now, I hope you heard Alan in there. If you didn't hear, if you didn't get the sound on that, then let me tell you that he was incredibly entertaining and the jokes were really raucous and terribly rude, but how we laughed. It did make the vicar blush. Isn't that right, Vic? He's just flat out.
Can I just request that we don't have any fallouts over COVID, please?
No, we're not going to. Why
no,
would we?
Not you. I'm talking to our lovely viewers.
Oh, why?
In chat.
Is there a bit of COVID?
Yes, we all have a different perspective on it. We all have a different take. So, let's all stay friends, though.
Yes,
we can all have a different opinion. And
yes,
stay
absolutely.
civil and.
Absolutely.
Agree to disagree in some
Agree
cases.
to disagree. That's it. Exactly.
We're all one love, please.
We are a nice little community. Keep your COVID covert.
Anyway.
So, right, as opposed to overt, which is, you know, in people's faces, a covert is hidden.
Yes.
Just so you know. Right, time for another video. I think it's time to catch up with Bernie because Bernie, he is burning my knee. Get off with those matches. Bernie is now finally, I think this is the last one on his Eastbourne thing. We saw the sewage castle. I mean, we thought that was the pinnacle of Bernie's exploits as he plodded along in that early morning light. There can't be any more morning light left because he must have gobbled up all the morning light, that beautiful sun on the way there. But I think he's managed to keep it. Don't go up any higher. I've got another video to do. Bless him. So this is at the harbour, Eastbourne Harbour. And so we're going to enjoy that. Here it is.
Because we used to be able to walk through there. Nowadays you can't, unfortunately. But you can see in the distance some more buildings at the North Harbour, and then this Martello Tower here, which used to be a Coast Guard station. Now at various places they were 3/4 of a mile apart. But of course with the redoubt between here and the Wish Tower, I'm guessing that was Tower 72. And I'm a little bit shaky, but I'm sure that's two people out there who are paddleboarding at this time of the morning. Doesn't that just go to show? You never know what you're going to find until you've found it. And I'm in Key West. Now I haven't crossed the Atlantic. I've come down to what is now known as the Sovereign Harbour. And this is one of the little marina kind of places that there are dotted around this part of the South Harbour. They promised you fountains on a walkway between the blocks of flats. I think, to be honest, that promise went a bit flat. But here we are. There are fountains, but they're not working. But you do wonder, given that actually Seaside in Eastbourne, you have some of the most impoverished areas in the country, and yet there's this perception that everybody here has got such wealth, and these houses that go up, most local people can't afford to live in them. Anyway, just thought we'd take a walk along here and have a quick look back. But you know, you think about slum clearances, but these houses and flats, they're so close to each other. Balconies like that, they're almost like modern slums, except very expensive ones. Well, there is cloud coming over, but the sun is up.
How about that? I couldn't work out whether that was a swimming pool or a canal.
I thought it was a swimming pool when we first saw it. There,
I mean, you could
you could
surely-
easily. It looks like a great place to swim, though.
I mean,
doesn't it?
presumably the kids just go in there and slosh about, don't they?
I don't suppose there's anything stopping you dipping your feet in the
Because I
quite
can
summer.
imagine the kids in the summer when it's really hot. I can't imagine them in the winter doing it, but in the summer when it's really hot with an ice pick, in they get.
Lots of people have been wondering the same thing. That's a big swimming pool. Very sad. We used to like going there. I fancy dipping there. I wonder if that's suitable to bathe in.
Yeah.
Exactly. I wonder.
Thank you so much, Bernie. It's interesting you suddenly come across something like that and you think that's amazing. Julia, this would give Richard a sugar rush. What we have delivered today, and email the pictures to him.
Excellent.
Oh, right, okay. Jeffrey has sent in some pictures. Oh, hang on, I forgot. I hadn't checked my emails during the show. Right, okay.
Sensible Paul says, I believe the CCTV on them because it says you're not allowed in the water.
Oh, right. Here we go. This is what Jeffrey had delivered. What have you got in there? Cheese, lots of cheeses.
Lots of
butter,
donuts and pies and
pork pies.
Is that jam?
Is that an Eccles cake?
no, that's actually marmalade. I think. Isn't it?
Donut thing with millions and trillions. Coconut.
There's some great. There's some fruit in there. Grapes.
Oh
Did you
yeah,
say
there we
that?
are. You'd be great with that. What is that? A custard something?
I don't know. Did you say the waffle up there underneath the Dairy?
Are you?
No, that's not the Dairy.
And
That's
a
Laughing Cow.
A laughing cow, and a baby thing, and there's another grape at the top. So tell me, Jeffrey Harrison.
Hungry now.
What?
It's a heart attack in a box, says Jackie.
Is that a takeaway? I mean, some people get pizzas. Some people get. They have what are those kebabs, and some people have Chinese people wrapped up as rats and eat them. They have all sorts of. So what ever induced you? What is it? I mean.
Explain yourself, please,
Yeah,
sir.
I mean, there's such a mixture of weird things. It's a hamper of delight, isn't it?
Station Master's Choice, aka Bernie, says nobody can go into it, the waterway. The waterway was promoted as something very elegant when the place was built, but it didn't live up to its promise. What was actually built looks ridiculous. Shame.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much the case for a lot of modern stuff, isn't it?
Jeffrey Harrison says, I can send you the fruit if you want.
Yeah, thanks.
It was all delivered.
It was all delivered. He doesn't leave the house. He's got this lovely car. He met me in once in a car. But I reckon that was a hired car. It was a Rolls Royce, I think it was. And now he gets Jeffrey Harrison. He has a kebab on a Monday. He's got fish and chips on a Tuesday. He's got the Chinese on a Wednesday. He's got the curry. He had the curry. Do you remember he had the curry on the Thursday? On the Friday, it must be the wrong day because that's when he has the sweet tooth.
Mark Donny McLeod wants the turnovers.
Does he?
Which one's is that?
Is
Is that the one
turnovers?
underneath the baby bell? Is that the
That's
apple
the one that's
turnover?
upside down, clearly.
Oh yeah, and a cinnamon swirl.
A cinnamon swirl. Goodness gracious.
Just move it off the screen. I'm
Yes, I'm going to just get rid of that. Thanks very much for that.
Drool.
Bagham Harbour. Just looking to see if anybody. Photos for the gallery. David Vad says, please find attached 3 photos. Horse face in tree roots.
Oh, fantastic.
Woody the woodlouse and ship in a bottle. The bottle size is approximately 3.5 inches by 2 inches, so it's about that big, I reckon. So here we go. This is the face in the roots. Let's see if we can get that on the screen.
Look at that. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can. It looks like a dog's skull.
It's beautiful. At first I thought maybe it's a profile.
They can't see your hand at the moment.
Yeah, a view from straight on.
Yeah.
And then I thought actually it could also look like a profile as well. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that'd be the horse's
There's
forehead.
no point in pointing, they can't see you.
I was pointing for your benefit.
I know, but they're listening to you pointing. Anyway, so that's
They probably don't need to see me pointing.
You know, I know, but then they're going, what is she pointing at? So that's what I was trying to get. So this is the woodlouse. Woody woodlouse. Now, is that one of Jeffrey Harrison's cakes that he's got? Jeffrey, I wouldn't have this layered cake.
It's a very bricky looking cake.
Yes, it's nice though, isn't it? Look at that. And very nice picture, though. Very well done.
I do like wood lice.
I do. A little bit of black pepper, and they're lovely.
Oh,
And
look at
here is
that.
the ship in the bottle. And the question is, how did they get the bottle the right size to fit the ship? That's what you always think. They have to make the glass around the bottle, don't they? And then you put the cap on, and there it is.
No, it's very clever how they do it. It's all done with strings, isn't it? And
It's all done with magnets, isn't it, these days?
probably
Magnets
actually.
and
Probably.
elastic bands, sticky back plastic, and HP sauce. Mostly HP sauce is what it is, actually. I think you'll find, and that's a truism.
Smiling, nodding.
Yeah, keep the nodding and the smiling going. So that's grand. Okay, how are we doing on the profile of a horse? Says Linda Kane.
Yes. That's what these are.
What is?
The
roots.
The
picture
horse
of
face in the roots. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a dog.
No, horse.
Is that what he
Sure,
said?
it said horse in the email.
Oh, right. might have
Read
said
it
that.
again.
Yeah, read it again. Horse face in the tree roots.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Oh, it's a horse's face. Oh, right. Sorry, I thought it was like a skull.
Oh.
Oh, why the long face?
See, because I know that you don't really see. What's the word for it?
Paralysis.
No, it's where you can. Your brain is good at
Making patterns. Seeing patterns.
seeing things where there is nothing. Really.
Yes. I mean, yes. I think, those are sort of things where people see things and then they attribute mystic stuff to it, and you go, well, it's just a coincidence, really. But they go, oh, but really the tree has been buried on the horse, and the horse has put his shape into there, and it means the Trinity of man has been divided by the verse number he thought of. Anyway, time for a video. We've got some cracking videos in today's show, so let's crack another one. Oops, I nearly knocked my glass of
Don't
water
do
over.
that.
No, I'll try not to. So, into the video box we go. And in the video that we have, yes, Edward Moulding, Teddy Boy, to his friends. He's been on the River Kwai and he's gone to the bridge. Now, Edward, is this the same bridge that was built by the British prisoners as we see in the film Bridge Over the River Kwai? Is this the same bridge? That's what I want to know. That is the question. And I saw that, especially at the end when you see the train and all of that. Is that why you went to have a look at it? Or have I got, as ever, the wrong stick in the wrong handle the right way up? Have I got the wrong end of the... That's what I was trying to say. So let
Always.
Always look on the bright side of life. So, Edward, let's have a look at your picture of the bridge over the River Kwai. Whether it's the same bridge or not, we will find out hopefully later. So, oh, sorry. I've got to just stuff some chocolate into my mouth. Mm-hmm. As Jackie Law says, they blew up the bridge, didn't they?
Apparently so. Ramaboo 2 says that looked rickety, and Paul Cockrell says, I think the original bridge was a bit more rickety.
But we saw the gravestones at the end. Presumably that's some of the British that died, was it? Or was it the Japanese that died? Where is Ted? He sent it in. Have you seen it? Has he been on the thing tonight?
I thought we'd seen him in, but I don't
Come on,
know.
Ted. Come on, wake. He's probably fallen asleep. He thought, they're not going to show my video. They're not going to show my video. I've had enough of that, ball
Off I
bloke.
go.
Oh, hang on. That might be
have
him.
hello
That
phone.
might be him. Hold on a minute.
Just stop.
Sorry about the squeak there. Hello.
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 Are you deaf?
Have you been deafened by the squeak?
A little.
Sorry about that. It's my hearing aid. Anyway, who's that? Is that Edward? Hello?
Hello, hi.
Hello, hello, hello. We heard you briefly.
Oh,
Nope, still there. Are you still there? Can you hear us? I haven't changed a setting. The volume has gone down, says. Yes, I know the volume's gone. Oh, what? Whose volume? No, yes, I appreciate that. I had to turn it down because we were having feedback through the headphones. But are you still there?
if you can hear us, we cannot hear you.
We can't hear you. I'm going to ditch the call and maybe you can ring in a second time. Sorry about that. You may be listening to the stream. That's the problem. If you call, turn the YouTube volume down and just listen to your telephone thing. That would be the best thing. Sorry about that. But if you want to call in again, that would be absolutely fantastic. But here we go.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Ah, that's better. Sorry
That's
about
better.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we lost you.
Whatever it was. Yes, that is actually the real bridge.
Is it? That is the real bridge.
Yeah. There's the bit you see in the film is total fiction.
Right.
You know, with Richard Attenborough or whatever it was.
Yeah. Alec Guinness, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
I think so.
I've seen it. But
Mm.
yeah. But no, that is the real bridge. And you will see that part of the bridge is round, and then there's two pieces which are sort of like square shaped or with an angle to them.
Right.
And towards the end, the Americans actually bombed it and blew those two pieces were blown out. And then the Japanese, after the war, had to supply as retribution replacement parts.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
So that is actually that bridge is about 5 kilometers outside of Kanchanaburi, the town.
Yeah.
And it runs all the way up through what was known as Death Valley, and then across into the Free Pagoda Pass, and then into Burma.
And that was the purpose of the bridge. I mean, if I remember the film correctly, the Japanese needed that bridge to get their communications across, to make the it was a journey thing, which is why they were forcing the prisoners of war to build it. And then it needed to be bombed because it was a threat to everybody else.
Well, it was a strategic railway for the Japanese because basically the railway that was built by the Thai ran from Bangkok all the way down to the border with Malaysia, and then from Malaysia to Singapore. And before the war, they were running trains all the way from Bangkok to Singapore. So that was a strategic railway for the Japanese to extend it through into Burma, because it would mean they would not be facing Allied naval power as they tried to ship men and supplies into Burma. But basically, after the war, it wasn't really suitable for commercial use. It was built too poorly, so a lot of it got taken up, abandoned.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Oh, well, I'm not surprised it was built poorly under the conditions that it was built. But
yeah, well, you got to think that of the POWs, about 31% of the British ones died, and about the same with the Australians, and I can't remember quite how many of the Americans it was, but it was about 19% of the Dutch, and the American people, soldiers who died, were repatriated back to the USA. And there are 2 cemeteries around the Ganjanapuri area of POWs, and it's about 7,000 people.
Good God. And that was what you showed. Was that what you showed at the end?
Yeah, that's one of the Commonwealth war cemeteries.
Yes.
Now, what else is, you got about 250,000 Asian people who were also used, and about 90% of those did not survive.
90%.
Yeah.
So they were treating those a lot worse than the British or the Americans or the Australians, presumably, or that their constitution was just not as good.
Yeah, I mean the conditions, malaria and tropical diseases and starvation would have wiped out most people.
Yes, but you would have thought, I mean, conditions like malaria and stuff, the Asians who were a bit more used to the heat and that sort of thing than the British, you would have thought, we would have been the weaker lot because it's so out of our comfort zone.
Well, yeah, but for the Japanese, they were just expendable.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I mean, horrific, absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
And the film, I mean, I know the film is a Hollywood blockbuster and what have you, but it did give the impression that it was, I mean, I haven't seen it recently, but it did give the impression that it was really, really awful. I mean, I know it was from the British and the American side, taking that, and it, the story was between Alec Guinness, captain or colonel, whatever he was, and his relationship with the captain of the prison camp, really, and how he managed to survive the little hole that he was put in the sun and all of that. But the real event, of course, would have been even more gruesome.
One would imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah. So what made you go there?
Well, I was working there.
Oh right. Oh okay.
So
building the bridge.
No, I was working for a car company.
Oh,
but, so I spent quite some time there. So
those trains that you showed at the end, are they the trains that, obviously they're the trains that ran on the track, but are they trains that ran back in that period, because they were steam trains?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of them they brought from the Japanese brought from Indonesia, and then they re-gauged them to run on the metric gauge, which is used in Malaya and Thailand.
Right. And what is the actual River Kwai like?
Big and broad.
Big, broad.
As you can see there.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite slow moving. There is another part to it called the Kwai Noi, and if you looked at where that structure going along the side of the gorge, you look down, now you will see like floating bungalows, because that is actually that is actually on the Kwai Noi, right. And you can rent them for holiday type thing.
Yeah. Cool. Gosh. Well, what a fascinating thing to witness and to have a look at. Thank you for sharing that with us.
It's okay.
And it's interesting because, you see these films and you're unconnected with the incident and you think, oh yeah, and how awful. And it's not, I guess, I've not been there, of course, but it's not, I guess, until you actually stand somewhere where something horrific has happened do you really get a sense of it was real. I remember going to the Menin Gate in Belgium, in Ypres, and a lot of horrible stuff went on in the First World War there, and you stand there and you see the graves, and you see, and you realise that what you've been learning about, I did this as a school kid doing a history lesson, and we went there, and you suddenly realise, oh yeah, it's not just pictures in a book and my teacher telling me about it. This is something that happened, and these guys who are buried there did it for our country, or First World War, slightly, jingoistic sort of thing. But it was for king and country and all of this, and and it really happened. And it's not until you stand in a place like that that it comes much more home to you.
Yeah, I had a moment like that in Poland, in Krakow, in a quarter of the city where the Jews were kind of walled in, and basically it was turned into a horrible slum. But I mean, that was bad enough. So, and I'd like to go and pay homage to somewhere like Auschwitz, to all the victims that died there someday, and I'm sure that would be really emotionally
charged.
Hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
But something was on my bucket list, though.
So,
There is a book, and it's a film, and I think it's called The Railway Man, of a man who was in the camp, and he was a radio operator, and eventually he goes back and he meets the interpreter that was with him, Japanese interpreter that was with him when he was at that camp. It's quite I think it's called The Railway Man. Someone have to look that up.
yeah.
But that's quite an interesting film, because it is based on his real experience.
It is interesting when you hear the stories of somebody who was on one side and the other person on the other side, and they were in, like the guard, and somebody was in a prison camp, and then they meet 50 years after the event, and they can share the stories and almost laugh, not at the event as such, but they can smile and laugh about life. And yet 50 years ago they were sworn enemies because of politics. And every now and again you get a news story like, not so much nowadays because there's very few people left, but I remember about 20 years ago watching something, and they said, oh, this bloke was from the prison camp and he met the Japanese captain or somebody or the guard or whatever, and they could chat respectfully to one another and actually became friends. I think in the report, it was one of these sort of nationwide stories with Michael Barrett. Nationwide. Just in case anybody.
So someone's picked up on it in the chat.
Oh,
yeah, it was some Lomax. That was the person.
Ah, right. I met him in the late 90s, says Ernie Samet. Gosh.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I think he came from Edinburgh or somewhere.
Gosh.
But anyway.
Yeah, still lovely photos. Though.
Yeah.
Thank you
for
for
sharing that. How interesting, fascinating stuff. Do we call you Edward or Ted? Because I noticed on your emails you say Ted, and then you're Edward.
Yeah, Ted. Ted will do.
Yeah, good. I didn't want to be flippant with your name. I mean, I am flippant, but I didn't,
Not with your name.
Not with your name, exactly.
Other people's names, but not yours.
Yes. Anyway, thank you so much.
Time to move on.
Yeah, time to move on. Oh, we're coming to the end. But thank you so much, Ted. Look forward to catching up with you soon.
Okie doke.
Yeah, thanks again.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye. How about that? That's absolutely fascinating. I hope you found that fascinating as well, because it's such a classic film of a classic event, and yet, as I say, it's not really until you go somewhere that you realise it's not just a story that you doesn't bother you. Suddenly, it does become important.
It becomes that much more real, visceral.
Yeah, exactly. But there you are. Now, listen, it is 9:30. Going to end the show. We've got two more videos that we didn't get round to. Both Sean's, I'm afraid. I hope both of you, Sean Ford and Sean James Cameron from London, previously in Wales. I hope that you don't mind if we put your videos at the top of the list on Wednesday, if that's all right. Because we just run out of time, and it just seems a bit of a shame to.
Yeah, we don't want to rush through them. We
want to
savour them and enjoy them.
Not comment about them and criticise them and pull the legs off the spiders and dissect the poor little newts and find out how their hearts beat and all of that. So, because we did that in biology. Did you ever do that? Sort of cutting open bloody newts? I mean, it's
no,
so
thankfully,
awful. No.
I never had to dissect a frog.
I think
either,
they were dead when we got them.
I did have to partake in dissecting a sheep's eye. That was grim.
Yeah, and the sheep wasn't happy about it. It ran away.
Thankfully, it was just the eye when
Just
I
the
saw
eye.
it. Otherwise,
yeah. I'm glad. Were
I'd
you
have
any
been
good
grabbing
at
that
it?
sheep and I'd have been running.
Were you any good at it?
Nope.
You're not getting near my good
Nope.
eye then.
If I was any good with things like that, I would have been a vet.
Yes. Nice to
Animal
meet you,
doctor.
Yvette.
Ah.
Anyway, there we go. So last of the comments there. Christopher says...
Christopher?
yes.
Oh, Chris F. No?
Christopher there in
Oh,
purple.
yeah, Christopher.
Says, I visited the Men in Gate and Eat many times myself. Very emotional place. Yes, I remember we went to Hill 60, Hellfire Corner, down in some of the trenches that were there as part of the school round Eep. And, I can't remember all these places now. For a long weekend, field trip. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. And it brought the whole war to life. We had a fantastic history teacher who did bring, that was one of the best lessons. I think that's why I've got an interest in heritage, landscape and nature now, thanks to one teacher at my former school.
Well done for that teacher.
Yeah, so everything else.
Thank you, because we wouldn't have the Bold Explorer without that.
That's true.
Or may not.
So there we go. Ron Langley says, night, bye-bye. Thanks, Richard and Julia. Lovely show. Rasputin says, very interesting. My late uncle was a Japanese POW in World War II.
Fascinating.
Gosh. Well, I wish we had more time, but unfortunately we must go because it's Bank Holiday Monday and I've got to get down to the bank before it opens. So thank you so much for all the lovely contributions that we did get to see. Andrew Norris, Colonel Craig Ratty and Bernie, as well as Ed or Ted Moulding, which was fantastic. We have the two Seans, which we will look at on Monday. Thanks to Bonnie, to Dave Ivad for his horse in the Roots, which was absolutely fascinating. Also Ron Langley, Mark Donny McLeod, which we didn't really spend much time on looking at the markings of the bee. Apologise for that.
No, we didn't. Sorry
and
about that.
Bonnie's cakes, the hot cross buns, which never arrived. To Elaine Whitelock, thank you for the egg, which we've been devouring.
Yeah,
there ain't much left of it.
Not a lot.
But that will be mostly delicious.
Much appreciated.
Much appreciated. And to Judith for being out there with the blue spanner, making sure nobody's misbehaving. And to all of you for watching and communicating and all of that, and your phone calls, etc.
And thank you, Richard, for putting it all together.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for coming into the studio and being in my presence.
I nearly choked on that.
Yes,
that
thank you
chocolate.
for choking on the chocolate.
Thank you very much for having me here in the studio.
Good
It's
fun.
all nice to be getting some sort of normality.
Yes.
Whatever normality is.
We
for
don't
us.
know. But anyway, that's it. Thank you so much. Look after yourselves. Don't forget to tune in on Wednesday. In the meantime, arrivederci and goodbye. Oh, and we can do our usual...
Wait.
Wait, hang on. We've got to get some bubbles
We're
in.
gonna have more bubbles. And just for the heck of it.
Just for the heck of it.
Yay.
Lovely. And here we go. 1, 2, 3... They can't actually hear us, but...
Oh, was it